Dave Chang is an avid student and fan of sports, music, art, film, and of course, food. With a rotating cast of guests, they have conversations that cover everything from the creative process to his guests' guiltiest pleasures. Follow The Dave Chang Show on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. I'm here with Callie Curry. Hi, Callie.
Hello.
So much to discuss. What a week of paradise it's been. To quote everyone on the show, it's a dumpster fire. What were they saying? They kept saying it's a mess.
Yeah, they were like, it's just a hot mess. Serena kept being like, everyone was in something. And I wanted her to be like, but me.
I know.
She was literally not in anything.
I feel like with Serena, first of all, we're getting so much Serena. Do you still like her?
I've been up and down, but I'm up with her right now.
I thought she had a strong week. I really liked her as the narrator, but I feel like they're like, I need everything timestamped. Because I'm like, when did Serena say that? Is it really in reference to the topic at hand or like just like a good soundbite? It seems like she's just like a really effusive talker, so they're using her a lot. But it was a good Serena week.
She's also like pretty rational.
Yeah, she's pretty normal.
So...
Though I have a lot of problems with Joe, I do find them cute. Their name conversation was cute.
I think they're my favorite couple right now.
Wow. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there aren't that many other good ones to choose from. So maybe that's like not such a hard choice.
No, but Joe had a great week for me.
Wow. How do you say his last name? I keep saying it in my head and I kept messing it up.
I don't know. When she tried, I was like, good shot.
I'm like, Amabile? I don't know.
Yeah, no idea. No idea. Very Italian though, whatever it is.
Yes, very.
Also, Joseph Anthony is very Italian. Yeah.
Super. Super. They were cute in general. We'll come back to them in a minute. We got to start with one of the funniest things that's happened in this season so far, which was the exchange and then handing back of jewelry that went on with Deandra, Chasen, and Carl with commentary from Noah. And Demi. It was so good. I loved it so much. I have so many questions.
Yeah, it was probably one of the top moments of this week. And this was an amazing week of Bachelor. So I can't, I wish we would have seen her give the necklace back to Chasen.
I know. We needed that too.
I needed that content because what's crazy is when she was giving the rose out, I was like, she's going to pick Ivan. And
really? You knew it?
I said it and I watched it with my husband and Seth was like, no, she's going to pick Chasen because she thinks the necklace is real. And then she picked Ivan. I think because Ivan was talking to her the whole time and they like purposely showed Ivan and her talking. And then they kept saying how like they kept having Noah be like, she's not going to like either gesture. And then the way that they were acting with each other, like it just... Also, like, there was just other things Chasen did that I was like, this is so unattractive. Like, when Carl was giving her the bracelet and he just stood there, I was like, is he drunk?
That's a good point. I thought of that, like, how drunk are they? When Aaron was like, that's why I'm going to the bar to get water. He said that in his fight with Thomas. I was like, oh, he's wasted. he's trying to cool down by drinking water. But anyway,
I have to assume that they are drunk because there's so many moments where they're talking and no one makes sense.
I know. And it's just like, what are you talking about? Also, they just wake up. They talked about Bloody Marys and mimosas so much this week. I'm like, oh, so they just wake up and then start drinking because what else is there to do? And that's how like things get going.
Also Chasen, that was like a weird moment to me. Like when they showed their conversation, I was like, there's no spark here whatsoever. None. And when he was like, yeah, you said you like brunch. So I was thinking, I was planning on getting you a Bloody Mary tomorrow. I was like, okay, so you're just gonna go to the bar and get her a Bloody Mary. That's free. Like that's not whatever.
Not exactly chivalry, Chasen.
And she was kind of like, oh, I've never had a Bloody Mary before. And I was thinking there might be like a little difference in culture there. Because like, I don't know, maybe like white brunch is Bloody Marys. Like black brunch is very much mimosas.
Oh, interesting.
So when she said that, I was like, I wonder if she's like, what? A Bloody Mary.
That's really interesting. And that would never have occurred to me. I love both. But I will say
I've never had a Bloody Mary.
You haven't? I was going to say, as a white woman, I do love a Bloody Mary. It's a great way to kickstart. First of all, it's great for a hangover because it's not too sweet.
I've heard that. I've just never had one.
Do you like tomato juice?
I would never drink it. No.
It's good with vodka, though. That's what a Bloody Mary is.
I've never, like V8 juice. I feel like that's the only time I've seen like tomato juice available.
One thing that's really good about a Bloody Mary versus a mimosa is there's just not as much sugar. And so that's why I like it personally. But I mean, I love a mimosa too. I don't know. They're both great, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like bottomless mimosas is like more. Is bottomless Bloody Marys a thing?
Yeah. When I lived in San Francisco right after college, there was a lot of bottomless mimosa places, like so many.
Mimosa though, not Bloody Mary.
Yeah, but like places will have like a Bloody Mary bar where it's like unlimited.
A bar where people are just going up there and putting things in their drink that everyone else is touching?
Like, usually you can like make it yourself.
Oh. In tomato juice? That is beyond disgusting.
But like a really good Bloody Mary will like sometimes have some bacon in it or will
I've
have
seen that. That sounds disgusting.
I don't love a bacon blood. I like a really straightforward one, but I've seen
like celery sticks.
Yes, that's common to olives. I don't like olives, but I love a Bloody Mary. Have you ever had a Michelada?
Never even heard it.
It's like a Texas thing where it's like a mix of beer and tomato juice. It's really good.
I don't drink beer or tomato juice, so
that's out for you.
Not gonna happen. I have had like a beer. Like people say that that's good for your stomach, like helps settle your stomach.
The bubbles. I don't think beer, but the bubbles do.
I was told specifically beer.
That's not true. It's ginger ale that settles your stomach.
That's another lie that I've been told my whole life.
I've never heard that beer settles your stomach.
I've heard beer and ginger ale. And like maybe Sprite if you have nothing else.
Yeah, it's all about the bubbles. It's not about beer itself.
Well, ginger is good for your stomach.
Okay. And I think ginger ale, I mean like pure ginger ale, but like Schweppes is like not real ginger ale, so it probably doesn't matter.
Have you had pure ginger ale? Where do you get that?
I've never had that.
Is that even a thing? Can you do that?
I'm sure you could get it like some artisanal place with like real something. I don't know.
I wonder what that tastes like.
Me neither. Probably gross. But like it's like why like a ginger shot is supposed to be like good for your health, right?
Yeah. I like
don't know.
ginger. I'm fine with ginger.
Sure.
I used to have to eat ginger because I have such bad stomach problems.
This is your second week in a row bringing it up.
I know, but I've had enough ginger in my life probably for like an entire state.
All right. Good to know. Anyway, back to Chasen and Deandra, their cultural differences. That's interesting. It didn't even occur to me, but I did notice they talked about mimosas a lot this week, like just in general, and they were drinking them a lot.
A lot. Wait, also Chasen and Chris's entrance.
Yeah.
Has to go down as like the most cringe douchebag. Ugh.
Chris makes me cringe. I can't imagine making Chris over Ivan. Chris going with the Salt Bae, like when he walked in talking about himself as like a dash of Chris. Also, there must be another Chris coming because they keep referring to him as Chris C on his.
I don't know,
third.
but I Jasenia, I don't know what to think.
I think it's a reflection of Ivan, unfortunately. I think Ivan's probably like boring or something.
Well, I saw on TikTok that Jasenia had been hanging out with Chris before she got to Paradise.
Oh, that's crucial info.
Yeah. So she definitely knows Chris more than Ivan, and was
interesting.
And now people think that like maybe she was waiting for him.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Yeah. And the girl's reaction being like, yeah, she kept saying Chris. I'm like, she's essentially Brendan fucking Jr. and getting away with it.
And also it's like, how does she know anything about Chris? Like, none of us know who Chris is. So the fact that she does is very confusing.
Never seen him before in my life.
She is Brendan Jr. That should be like her, you know how they have like the funny bios? Jasenia, Brendan Jr.
That is who she is. It's somehow Brendan's getting slaughtered and Jasenia's just, you know, skating by.
I just don't have a problem with Brendan. I don't know.
Me either.
Even after all this, I just don't. I love Natasha. She's a friend of the pod. She's a friend IRL. But if a guy doesn't want to make out with you, it's usually a clear indication.
I think he has shown enough signs of friend zone.
Yeah.
And I think he likes her. I think he likes her. Like, I think he thinks she's pretty. I think he's like, if I have to have a conversation with anyone, like Natasha's who I want to have a conversation with. He's also said that he like likes Black women. Like, I think he's her type, like, or she's his type. I don't think he's lying about any of that. He just wants Piper more than anyone there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that they probably were dating, or like closer to dating than he makes it seem. It does seem like he probably lied a little bit, but I don't know. That will come out next week.
But I also think he could have. I think he could have gone there, and if there was someone that like blew him away, he wouldn't have held out for Piper.
Right.
I think he went there and was like, Piper is the best option.
Yeah, probably. I'm excited to watch that play out next week.
I also think that same with Jasenia, that if you get to know someone more outside of the show, like you're going to be more attracted to them. You know how they are in real life. You know how your lives can mesh. You know how it is hanging out with them, with your friends and their whatever. Like, you don't get that real experience in there. So, like, all those people have a one-up.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you actually know each other, it's much more meaningful than what you find on the beach. Although, you know, once in a while, things can just take off. Sure. You know, everyone can have that spark that they seem to be desiring. But that's interesting about Jasenia and Chris. I wouldn't have pegged her for Paradise Wrong Reasons type, but it makes me kind of like her even more. I'm like, cool, Jasenia, playing the game. I like it because she comes off as like so sweet.
Sweet, yeah.
So there's more there. I love it. Cool.
The only thing though is you like Chris?
No, I don't.
I'm saying like I agree with you. It made me like Jasenia more, but then her liking Chris made me be like, we probably wouldn't be friends. I would not like Chris. I hate the way he talks. I hate what he says. He's friends with Chasen. Like, there's a lot of red flags for me.
The way that he talks to the camera is pretty weird. Like, he's really playing it up. I feel like he didn't get any screen time when he was on Claire's season. And so he probably thinks he has to like be flashy and like flamboyant to be able to get some actual camera time. And that's like my only explanation for him. Because otherwise, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess maybe because his first experience is like, that gave me no followers.
Yeah. Gotta get some. Does he live in Texas? Where does he live?
I have no idea. Please, I mean, Texas seems on brand. By the way, I live in Texas, so just.
I'm just asking because I think that Jasenia lives in Texas, if I recall correctly. From how do they spend time together? I always love to know about like the mechanics of like how people meet up and stuff.
Also,
yes.
Did we think like there wasn't? Isn't it weird that no one was greeting people this week?
Yes, it was weird. There was like no one there to greet them. The
they
hosting
just, like,
stuff is confusing. And then like Tia just came down. It's like, where'd she get the date card from?
Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall. She just appeared. It's sort of weird. I think it's like maybe because like they're like in between hosts or something like that. I think that
even Becca's entrance was kind of weird because like I would have loved to have like 2 minutes with Becca before she came down because it is weird. I do think that having the Bachelorette changes the dynamic is definitely different with Becca.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it embarrassing for her?
It's not.
I also kind of admire it though. She's like, she spent all this time with Garrett. Then she did a year of COVID or a year of like dating and COVID, whatever. And
I was like, wait, she had COVID for a year?
No. But she had to like reemerge into the dating scene in COVID, which is hard, especially like in their, you know, like the winter of 2021. And so it's like, you know, you go to the beach and there's just like all these people looking to hook up. It's kind of like a dating app IRL. That's what I was thinking about as I was watching this week. I was like, it doesn't surprise me that couples form because it's similar to a dating app where like everyone on there or on the beach or on the app like has the same thing they're looking for, which is a relationship or a hookup or like something in between. But it's like something like they all come to the table with similar expectations. And so like that's kind of why it works. And so I feel like for her, dating's probably really hard. She was the Bachelorette, like how she's supposed to meet people. So this is at least an environment where she can like, I don't know, at least have sex or something.
No, yeah, I feel like maybe the embarrassing part about it is not her under her control. Like, I don't think she's asking to be treated differently. Like she really blended in. She wasn't trying to be over the top. Even her conversations were very normal. Made me like her more, to be honest with you. I also think she looked amazing. Great dress choice.
She's got the LA glow up. It's so remarkable. Every person from The Bachelor who moves to LA improves their appearance. I mean, great job by all of them. Maybe they should go before though.
That's actually a great suggestion. I hope anyone listening takes that into consideration. But the way they treat her makes it embarrassing. Like Aaron, we haven't seen much of him. And that conversation, I was like, yeah, Tammy doesn't like you.
That which we have seen of Aaron has not been good. And that's tough for me because I'm a big Aaron defender, but I don't
he's
like.
Still very good looking.
Yeah, of course. He's still very hot. I liked when they were talking about how she was a senior in high school and he was in 8th grade.
that was funny, but that was her. But yes, that was funny. I know, it was cute. Also, I originally was like, she's not into him at all. Like you could tell she was like, really? Like just like, and then she kind of warmed up because of her jokes, which I'm like, I don't know if you were realizing you're warming up because of yourself.
Well, her comedy led the way for her.
Yeah. But she also didn't have great. I actually really like Ivan. Like I think he's a nice guy. James actually seems like a really nice guy too. But neither one of them, none of her 4 options seemed like her type.
I'm worried about Ivan. I don't think he's gonna leave the beach with love.
Yeah.
Or relationship, but we can talk about that later. Can we go back? We moved on from the jewelry a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, sorry, way too quickly. There's
so much to parse, but the commentary about the jewelry was almost as good as the jewelry itself. Noah saying that the necklace looked like a Cuban necklace. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's a Cuban link. That's the type of necklace it is.
Like the album, like Not for Cuban Links or whatever.
Yeah, like the style of necklace is a Cuban link necklace. I think that's what he was trying to say.
I was just like, what the hell?
Also, it was just so confusing. Like, where's the necklace from? Did you bring it to the beach? Have you worn it? I wanted to go back in other episodes to see if he's worn it. Also, it can't be real.
He did not wear it. We would have noticed it because his shirt was off so much.
Had to have noticed it.
Yeah.
If it is real, which is not real, but let's say it is real, in what world are you bringing a $200,000 necklace to the beach?
Also, it looked bad on her. It was like a man's necklace. It looked bad. Clearly, it was from production. It was a prop given to him. There's no other explanation. Yes. I think Chasen will do whatever to be on the show. Absolutely.
Why does production have that necklace?
They probably like after Carl gave her the bracelet, they probably like went and bought it or something and like thought it'd be funny.
I mean, they were right.
It was funny.
I feel like maybe this production crew before coming to Bachelor in Paradise was on some sort of like video set and had it for a prop. Because there's no
like
way
a Hype Williams video.
Yeah, like wherever they were in Mexico, I can't imagine they were able to buy this. Like
it wasn't real.
I'm so confused about the necklace, and then him giving it to her, how he gave it to her, saying it matched her gold earrings.
It did not.
I was like, it doesn't match her earrings. She looks insane, and then her having to walk around with both pieces of jewelry on. I was like, she's got to be like, what is? Am I in a circus right now?
She's like, fuck both these guys. I don't want their jewelry. It was so funny,
and they didn't show her giving back Chasen's necklace.
I know,
and they didn't show her saying goodbye. So she was just like,
done.
I can't.
I loved it. Also, Noah being like the bracelet was from Pandora, like the mall jewelry store. That was so funny to me. I don't even know why. Just the way he was shading the bracelet was hilarious.
He was like, maybe it would have been cool in like 2001, but like maybe my mom would have liked it.
And Noah was like, how old in 2001? Like quite young. So
Noah was really, I think I like Noah a lot.
I like Noah too. He seems like a nice dude, honestly. I like him.
And then also when Carl was giving her the bracelet and Chasen was just like every single thing about the jewelry couldn't have been
More
the one upper conversation, Captain Upper, like everything around the jewelry was gold. So if production did give necklace, I'd like to believe that Chasen had it in his backpack.
Okay.
But
if Chasen had an ugly fake
Cuban link necklace,
it would change everything I think about Chasen. He doesn't strike me as like a planner of like, I'm going to bring a necklace like to look good for a date or like to give to a girl. I just feel like there's no way.
I don't think that he had a plan on giving it to anyone. I think that that's a necklace that he wears sometimes.
I can't believe you really think it's Chasen's necklace. That's crazy.
It has to be.
You predicted that she'd give the rose to Ivan, but you also believe this is Chasen's necklace. Like, what the hell?
I did predict the Ivan, but production like led me to believe that. But
I guess I wasn't paying good enough attention.
They kept showing her an Ivan, and then them being like, "Is Ivan going to get a rose?"
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Oh, she's giving it to Ivan."
I'm glad he stuck around.
Me too. Favorite. I like. First of all, him or Carl or Chasen. Like, come on.
There's no question. Absolutely no question.
I think Ivan is actually like a good person. Probably someone you would want to like date.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't get Jasenia at all.
Me neither. I'd love to date Ivan. Although I just think maybe he's boring, but I don't know. I feel like every week now I'm like, I'd love to date Ivan. But Ivan seems great. He's got a real career. I don't know. And then
does he seem boring though? I don't think he seems boring.
I just feel like he seems not effusive. And I feel like you need to like really be very direct with how you're feeling in Paradise. Otherwise, it's like the opposite of the real world. Like in the real world, he'd be playing it cool and all the girls would be into him. In Paradise, like they need to be told, I love you, or you're the one, or you're getting my rose.
Like for Ivan, do I think he makes for amazing reality television? No. But do I think he's boring? No. Maybe a little like corny.
He seems like a great guy. I don't know.
But like, by the way, I think you have to be corny to be on the show.
Also, a little corniness isn't that bad. I mean, we can work with corny. It's fine. It's better than Carl, who's shadow boxing with his Pandora bracelet. I mean,
Carl is super corny.
Can't work with Carl.
Although I do think that he looked much better on Bachelors in Paradise.
I thought he looked younger. I thought he looked like he was like aging backwards, like Benjamin Buttoning or something.
Yeah, I don't think he looked old on The Bachelorette, but I think he looked fine, like physically. But I was saying that like I feel like the guys kind of like got over his mess pretty quickly. They allowed him to come in, which also brings me to how are you forgiving Carl, but like can't let Thomas breathe for a second? You know why?
Off Thomas.
Because Thomas is 6'6" and hot. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah. And also like very clearly can talk to anyone. Like he's obviously able to just have a conversation with anyone. He can just get into it. Carl's like so awkward and no one wants to talk to him. Thomas
they weren't worried about Carl. So they were like, great, come on, Carl, come on down. We're not worried about you. You're not going to steal our girl. Thomas came down and their buttholes clenched.
Yeah.
It's the best way to describe it.
Aaron's fight with Thomas was so embarrassing for Aaron. I mean, he was being so petty and just like, dude, calm down. Although my favorite moments of the week was when Aaron explained to Tammy what pity is. Do you know what pity is? It's people feeling sorry for me for being me. I was like, that's a great explanation. That's correct.
I mean, I don't get why he was mad at Thomas. Thomas doesn't owe him a shred of anything. And Aaron made it very clear, I need space. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hang out with you. I need space to get over whatever Thomas even did in the first place, whatever. Anyways. And then was mad at Thomas, like, you could have came and talked to me and said blah, 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 blah. If I'm Thomas, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do, but like, I'm on Bachelors in Paradise. I don't know if you know what the show's about, but this is what it's about. I didn't tell you that I wasn't going to choose Tam. Like, I have no reason to come talk to you. Tammy has a reason to come talk to you. I don't. I also can't predict that Tammy's going to pull me, go ask me to go sit right by where you are, and then straddle me and make out with me. I was not the aggressor in this situation.
I hate to break it to you. You kind of sound like Demi right now when she's justifying her actions with Kenny. And she's like, the point is for us all to date each other.
Yes. The difference is Demi and Mari had like this weird fake friendship.
Yeah.
Like
Demi was like giving her advice.
Demi was essentially like, you need to tell him that you want to see other people. Mari goes and does it. And she's like, great. The other people are going to be me. I'm going to go make out with him on the day bed, which by the way, I also felt like they were like, if you go to a day bed, you know what's about to happen. And I'm like, plenty of people are just like lounging on the day bed and nothing happens. Trust me, ask Natasha.
Can we seriously? Can we talk about these day beds for a second? I think I know what you're going to say, but does it seem appealing to be sharing a day bed in like the hot Mexican sun with like 4 or 5 other people for who knows how long? And they're like dirty and sandy. Like it just
also
seems gross.
Have never seen someone go lay a towel down before they sit down.
Yeah. There's no towel.
Like, I'm like,
there's no towels, period. I haven't seen a single towel this whole time.
That's a good point. I haven't either. But like, if the day bed's wet, is it water? Is it the ocean? Is it sweat? Is it semen? No one knows.
No one knows.
It's gross.
Oh,
and they
my
spend
God.
a good percentage of time. I would say it's like this episode, there seemed to be a lot of rain.
Yeah. I think there's going to be, I guess there's a storm coming, but it is like those day beds are so unappealing to me. Also, they don't seem very good for making out. Like someone has to prop the other person up or like just awkward. Also, I texted you this. The massage giving between Brendan and Natasha. And then I think that did Chasen give Deandra a massage as well? There was another massage at some point. And I was just like, this is awkward. Like this is not hot. Also, everyone can see what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm not mad at Natasha. I'd give Brendan a massage.
I mean, okay, sure. It did lead to them making out. Brendan is very
They
very
did not
handsome.
make out. Let's be clear.
They kissed?
Brendan and Natasha?
Yeah.
Like the peckest of pecks.
Yeah, like it was a kiss though. I don't know. I feel bad for her. This has got to be painful to watch back. I would stop watching if I were her.
I don't think it's painful because she doesn't seem to love him either. Like, I think she knows what it is and just doesn't want to know what it is. And there's no one else she's interested in. So she's just like, well, I'll talk to this hot guy.
Yeah, I guess.
I think she's probably like, if anything, she's probably like, I probably just should have had like the friend Rose conversation with him.
I don't know. I think she's got more pride than that. I think that she's like really like, why isn't Brendan trying to make out with me? And she's not wrong. She's really pretty.
Yeah,
she's got great style. She's cool.
Smart.
She's
do you think it's weird that like no one is admitting to that though? Like
the friend Rose?
Like James, for example, like
I'm wondering if they were told not to.
One, but I'm like, him going to Mari and being like, let's see, this is day one. I'm like, just say you want a fucking friend Rose.
I wonder if they were told not to, because it was kind of boring last time or 2 years ago when
there was like a bunch of people
were doing that. Yeah. It's just like so predictable. So it is better this way. And it's like obvious in some cases, like with Deandra and Ivan, obviously.
Yeah.
So I would just wonder if like that was some guidance they got or something like that. I don't know.
By the way, why not Deandra and Ivan?
I don't know. Maybe that could work out.
Like their combo was really cute. They seem to like be friends. I don't know if they're each other's types, but
well, that's the kind of thing where like in the real world, maybe that would evolve into something.
Exactly.
But they don't have the time for it.
No, they have to have like some fire ablaze when they meet somebody.
Yeah. They all just like rushing into it. And for some people it's working. I mean, I don't know. Should we talk about Tia? She arrived.
Who is it working for?
Serena and Joe.
You think there's a fire ablaze?
They seem really into each other.
Yeah, I think that they're into each other, but I don't feel like they want to go to the boom boom room yesterday. Like, I feel like they're into each other I could actually be in a relationship with this normal dude. We could have a normal conversation. They're not acting insane.
I wonder if there's more boom boom room action than we're actually getting to see, but they probably would want to show it. But I don't know, like, also, does anyone have sex outside of the boom boom room? I really wonder if you can use the bunk beds like on the challenge.
Yeah, I have no idea. I will say that Serena and Joe seem to have like some sort of like class about them.
Yeah.
They seem to care about, I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but like, I don't think they're going to act a fool.
Yeah.
Like they both care about their reputations. They both, well, I don't know what Joe does for a living, but I feel like they both
He's
want
a
to make sure
podcaster.
that they could.
It's like you and me.
Yeah. I think they both want to make sure that they could work anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like they're trying to like mess up. And I think if I was that way, I would want someone who's also that way. And that's another thing that is like a connection for them, especially since they seem to put like a whole bunch of crazies on this year.
I mean, it's just a lot of drama, a lot, but I like it, obviously.
Even someone who I thought wasn't crazy.
Like who?
Like Mari's reaction and throwing the cake in the fire was a lot.
I don't really know what to make of Mari. I just want to say, if I were Mari, Kenny would be dead to me. But I'm not Mari. I mean, let's just get into this.
I think
this
if I
love
were Mari,
square.
if I were Mari, no more interest in Kenny. But if I were Kenny, no more interest in Mari.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Also, Kenny being like semi-scared of Demi. I don't know what Kenny wants.
I would say I don't get him at all. I feel like he's just really happy to be on TV and happy to be at least like kind of naked. I don't know. I thought him and Tia like seemed like they had no chemistry, but then that she was like, we had such a great day. So that was confusing to me. But I really enjoyed her. And I was impressed at the number of euphemisms she had for body parts. That was like pretty impressive. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
So without looking at next week's like preview, who would you say Kenny's going to choose out of the 3?
I don't know. I guess I would say Demi, the one he's actually had sex with, but I don't know.
I don't think that he thinks that them having sex is a big deal at all. Clearly
he doesn't. But I love Tia's reaction when she was like, "Oh no, she's gonna freak out." Like, girls take like, that seriously.
Great. I'm gonna die.
They're gonna be killed. I'm gonna be murdered in my sleep. She's had it so many times. I was like, that is correct. Good point, Tia.
But also, she wasn't like, ew, you had like, she was very adult. Like, I don't care if you had sex with her, but like,
yeah, it's not like it's like his first time.
Right. Yeah. I think Tia and him make the most sense. Like in real life, like who Kenny is, it seems, and what Tia's. I would never have chosen him for her.
Me neither. I was surprised when they were
but
like...
then like based off of what everyone was saying and then how she acted in this episode, like thinking about, like, I feel like she came across wild before, but then you think about her being with Colton. And so then you're like, oh, she's like super religious, like whatever. But like, then when you see what she's actually saying and what she does, you're like, oh, she's not.
Well, she did read her Bible that morning, Callie. She told us, but...
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
There's a lot of parts to Tia.
I know. And it's funny. I haven't thought about her in a really long time. I believe she was on Ari's season. She was Final Four. And
How old is she?
I think she's like 30.
Okay.
I think. I'm going to check that while we pod. But I like Tia. I liked her the most I ever have. Like, she just wasn't really on my radar. But like, I was really glad she came to the beach because I thought she was really funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was loving
good
it.
addition.
Yeah. And she's 30. Oh, her birthday was 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Also,
happy birthday, Tia.
Happy birthday, Tia. Welcome to the 30 Club. Also, Demi was losing her mind. And I love confidence. I love like a confident woman. But I also want to be like, girl, if you are so confident, you don't have to talk about how you're more fun than her 700 times.
Well, that's the thing about Demi is like, it feels like this veneer is covering a lot of vulnerability and rawness inside of Demi. I don't enjoy her, but I think it's because I find this like outward facing just like shtick that she does so irritating. And I'm like, who is the real Demi? Like, I think there's maybe a part of her that's real here, but like, it just seems like she's always putting on an act, and it kind of makes me sad. Like, I hope that for her sake, she can get past that at some point. I don't know, but
I would also say that I, in general, like Tammy. Like I said that I think last pod, like I like her.
Mm-hmm.
She spent a lot of time around Demi these past 2 episodes, and I'm like,
it's not a good sign.
Making bad decisions.
Tammy's dress for the rose ceremony, the like one-armed sequin, very, very a lot of cleavage, was just like also like had like a bra strap. I was just like, what is this dress? Where did you buy it? And you're way more dressed up than everyone else here. And it was like an insane outfit. What's that?
We should do best worst dressed every episode.
Oh, sure. Yeah, good idea.
Moving forward.
Okay.
Because I think about, right when you said the dress, I knew exactly what you're talking about. She looked like a Golden Globe, like the trophy. I don't understand it. Also, it was weird with her hairstyle, which I actually liked. Like I thought she looked pretty.
Yeah,
and
she did.
Her dress was, and it was weird on a beach. Like there was just so many things wrong with it. And she had to go down on the beach, and it showed her feet, which weren't in heels. And I was like, how do you wear that dress with slides?
I mean, you can't really wear heels on the beach, right? So I guess you'd have to wear like wedges or something.
Or you don't wear that dress.
Yeah, you don't wear the dress.
Yeah. That's the real problem here.
Actually, that also reminds me, Demi was shading Tia's jean shorts when she came in. I really liked those shorts. What was wrong with them?
I don't think anything was wrong with them.
She was just dressed like a casual beach outfit.
Yeah, it didn't look like she tried. And
I
Demi
kind
was
of liked it.
I have like a, matching bikini with a
sarong or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the more casual look, but that's just me.
I think Demi's like a pretty girl. Fine.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. Tiny little, I don't know.
Yeah, she is tiny. I met her at Nick Viall's birthday party a few years ago.
But I don't find her like, oh my gosh. Is she like insanely pretty in person?
I feel like a lot of these people must be really pretty in person. Like, I think Becca Kufrin's very pretty. The way everyone's talking about her, I feel like in person, she must have been like a real stunner because they were just like all blown away.
I thought she looked amazing.
I thought she looked great too, but I don't know. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I also think that Marissa dressed up is like unreal.
Yeah, she styles herself so well. Her hair and makeup looks fantastic. She's great. Her and Riley are really sweet. I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Connor B was that sad to go home.
I don't know that situation. Also, his outfit. Speaking of outfits,
whatever.
Was
Apparently
it a romper?
I believe it was. It made me think of Cam Newton, main proponent of the male romper. So.
I mean, I think it was a romper. Very interesting choice. Also, I feel like he knew he was going home, so he had to pull it out so that everyone could see it.
The writing was on the wall.
Also, it showed him like singing a song to Jasenia, and I was just like, I'm sure he was like, I'm going home. Let me get one more song off before I go home. There was just like a lot of things that I was just like, and then his car interview didn't seem real.
I just think I think this isn't the last we've seen of Connor B, the cat guy.
Absolutely not.
And he wasn't that upset. So that's good. That's, keep it going. We don't want anyone to be too crestfallen, just no one too heartbroken. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had him go home.
Trey and Taj both self-eliminated. Gonna miss them both.
Mhm. I feel like they didn't show their relationship like at all. And so it made us feel like obviously they weren't getting along. But then Taj seemed like kind of shocked by it.
I don't know what was wrong there. She didn't seem that sad about Trey, but she like when Becca came in, she was just like, I'm done here. I don't really know what happened.
I feel like
And she didn't say goodbye to anyone.
Yeah, I feel like maybe she was like, I'm already struggling trying to find someone and they're going to drop a bachelorette in here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like having a bachelorette or a bachelor just changes the power dynamic so much. And when Aaron was like describing how Becca looked like a dolphin in her natural habitat, handing out roses,
I really didn't like it.
I thought it was funny. He was
like,
so into
what?
it though.
Oh, so into it. But I think because we have not seen much of Aaron, for that to be what we're seeing of him, I'm like, ugh.
I don't know what's working on me. It's just because I'm attracted to him.
Yeah, I mean, everything Thomas does works for me. So
Yeah, exactly. We each have a guy. Can we talk about Noah and Abigail?
oh yeah, that hurt me.
Inexplicable. I'm very confused. She's another one who it's like she's just
It
like
does seem like a lot of the girls self-sabotage a little bit.
Yeah, she's even said that. But I'm just like, what is she looking for? He's a nice guy who seems really into her. They talk a lot.
They laugh. Everyone kept saying how much they laugh together.
Yeah. And like maybe what's wrong with being like friends who kiss at first on a television show? Try to build on that. Like, isn't that a good way to start?
Listen, no part of me wants to be making out all day. So like Noah seems like my kind of guy. I was like, I don't get the problem. What do you want? You want him to just like stick his tongue down your throat? Like,
And it's not like they don't kiss. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get what the problem was. And then she like felt so bad afterwards. I was just very confused.
I felt like even Noah was like, I don't know what you want me to do differently. And then him being like, I'm doing all these things. What are you doing?
It's very confusing.
And her not even having any answer at all. I'm like, yeah, so are you the problem?
I know. It just was like, what is she looking for if not Noah? Which is like fine. Maybe Noah's not her guy, but it seemed like it was going well. So I
think it is Noah. I think she thinks it's Noah. That's why afterwards she was like, wait, that's not what I wanted. Like, I feel like she kind of wanted to say that and just exactly what you were saying earlier. She wanted him to be like, I like you so much. Like, I don't want to be with anybody else. Like, I'm sorry. I'll hold your hand and sit next to you and like whatever. Like, that's the response that she wanted. And when Noah was like, what? Where is this coming from? Or what have I done wrong? And then walked away. She was like, that's not, because like she even like in the beginning was sitting on the edge of the couch, and then when she saw how he was reacting, she like laid on top of him. So I feel like she was sensing it not going how she wanted and was wanting to be like, no, I'm still into it, but you have to tell me how into me you are.
I feel like he was doing that though. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But I just feel like it just is very confusing. I'm not really sure what she's looking for and like what's going to happen there. Like what happens next with Abigail and Noah? Like I can't really see either of them with anyone else because it just seems so perfect for whatever reason. I don't know, because he seemed excited about her and I don't know. I like her. I hope she finds love. I like him too. I hope they both find whatever they're looking for. His friendship with Ivan is cute. They're tight. And then Serena and Abigail are BFF apparently, at least on the beach.
Also, it was weird when Noah was like walking away from the conversation and Chris came up to him and was like, are you okay? And Noah was like, what? Yeah, like leave me alone. I was like, Chris, are you guys real friends? I can't imagine Noah likes you.
Chris probably just wants to be on TV. He's like, saw an opening, drama was happening, and he went for it. So
maybe.
I don't know. I was into whatever was happening. It's been a great week in paradise. You know, I got faked out. I thought that Lance Bass was going to be conducting the rose ceremony. I was so glad it was Wells. I like Wells as the rose master.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoy that.
Is Dave Spade coming back? What's happening?
No, he's not. We're done with
ever.
Dave Spade. I mean, hopefully in the future of the franchise, but this season he's out. He's out.
Finish this off. There's still so many episodes.
We got 2 more. I know there are so many more episodes to go. It's very confusing. Maybe he will come back, but I don't think so. We got Titus Burgess for 2.
I forgot about him.
Little John.
Yep.
I wish hope Little John performs or something. And I don't know who else. I have no idea. There are still so many more episodes of Paradise to go, by the way. I think there's like 6 more. So there's a lot coming.
I think more.
So there's 2 next week, Monday and Tuesday. And then it goes to Tuesdays only until like the beginning of October.
Oh, I thought there was 2 more weeks of 2.
I know they changed it up. There is Bachelor every week from now until the middle of March. There is no break, people. Buckle up. There's so much more to come. Because Paradise goes straight into Michelle's season, basically.
And Michelle goes to the middle of March?
No, the Bachelor starts in January. So we go Bachelorette mid-October, the end of the year. And then we get Bachelor starting in January. It's a lot. Who's your pick for Bachelor as of today, Callie? Who do you want to see?
Who do I want to see?
Yeah.
I would be fine with Greg.
Okay.
Maybe Andrew S.
Okay.
Justin.
Okay.
But mostly only because of Justin's dancing TikToks. I'm really, I would say that's like 80% of the reason why I want to see Justin. And I feel like it could be Grocery Store Joe, but I really want him and Serena to work out.
I think they might. They kind of seem like they're on that path. Also, he's clearly a relationship guy based on him and Kendall. So
also, I'm like, would they want him to follow Michelle and Katie? Like, I feel like they need some drama.
The thing about Joe, the reason why it doesn't surprise me he's a relationship guy is it seems like he doesn't really want to try very hard. And I feel like he just like finds a girl he likes, just like goes with it. And that's that. And I just feel like this is a good situation for him too. I understand why he came back. I noticed that Kenny was also wearing the red Adidas slides that Joe has. And I wonder if he had his own or if they were if they were sharing them.
Or if they all get them for free. Like Adidas gives them all slides.
Oh, interesting. The red ones, though, is that what Adidas would give out? Maybe it's like dead stock. I don't know. I have light pink ones that I love, but I feel like
I love Adidas slides.
Yeah, they're so comfortable. I have 2 pairs actually. They're great.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was confusing to me.
I didn't notice that he was wearing them. I wouldn't want to share slides with someone on a beach.
Yeah, that's super gross. So like what? Give each other athlete's
we're on
foot?
the same page.
Yeah. Finally, we found it. No sharing slides on the beach.
Maybe that's why Joe had socks on.
Also, they mold to your feet, so you can't really share them.
Yeah.
So that would just be super weird.
Who's your pick?
I think I'm going Andrew S. I've thought a lot about it. I could definitely see Grocery Store Joe, but I think that he would just I can't see him sustaining a full season. I feel like Andrew S. would give a lot. So I think he's my pick right now. He's just like a wee bit young, but that's okay. Also be cool to have like an athlete, even if it's a European professional athlete. And yeah, I think he'd be good. I would also be cool with Greg. I think a controversial pick is a good idea. So like picking Greg would be, I think, like a good strategy for the show. At one point I would have said Ivan, but I'm not positive that he can carry it. Also, if Brendan is not still with Piper come January, although I guess they'll tell me next month, Brendan. I feel like Brendan is like the most universally hot person from the franchise in a really long time. Like probably since Tyler. And I actually think Brendan is more universally commented on as hot than Tyler.
Agreed.
Brendan's just beautiful eyes.
He is insane. Whenever I look at my notes after the episode, it's let's see what I wrote.
Beautiful eyes.
No, this time I think last week it said Jesus Christ. This week it just says beautiful.
He is. He also seems fun. I think Brendan seems fun.
He has like little one-liners. I think we're going to see I feel like they're purposely not showing us too much of him before Piper comes.
Yeah. I think I don't know how well it's going to go for him.
Next week, though.
Looks awesome. Can't wait.
It doesn't look great for Natasha.
No.
I also don't want her to get too mad because I like her.
Me too. I don't want her to come off badly.
Me either.
But I don't think she will because she's like a paid person. She hosts the Bachelor podcast. So like if they make her look bad, I think that's like bad business. So hopefully.
Yeah, but I don't know what they think. Like they think her standing up for herself and blah, blah, blah might make her look good.
That's true.
To me though, I would be like, he didn't sell you a dream.
Yeah. I hope she sees that. I really hope she sees that. It's a tough one. What do you think's going to happen with Kendall when she talks to Joe?
I mean, based off what we saw, seems like she wants to get back together with him.
It really does. But if she actually wanted to get back together with him, would she wait to make a move until Paradise?
No, I don't think Joe had a clue she was coming.
Yeah.
So I also feel like maybe him going to Paradise made her lose her mind a little bit.
But Serena did say, like, what if Kendall shows up on the beach? So
yeah,
maybe
and he
someone
was like,
planted that seed.
His reaction to it was very like, it's done.
Yeah, he didn't seem like it'd be an issue. He did not seem happy to see her, though. He was like super stressed.
Yeah, which I think part of him being stressed is I do think he's a really good guy and he does not want to hurt anyone's feelings, whether that be Kendall or Serena, or even him being like unsure. I think it's probably a lot for him to like have to make that decision and hurt someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the way she came in, like they got up to say hi and she was like, "Where's Joe?"
I know. That was weird.
I was like, Jesus.
That seemed like weird editing though. Like, how can that be that like she just does like a beeline to Joe and there's no one there to greet her? No, but they even said,
they were like, we stood up to say hey. And she was like, what? Who was it? Maybe it was Aaron.
I think
one of the guys that stood up was like, oh, he's over there. And you could tell that he was like ready to give her a hug and then was like, oh, okay, that's not what's happening here.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But I guess, I don't know. Without seeing her entrance, it's kind of hard to know like what was the pre-conversation like and everything.
Yeah, I will say one thing. Great abs.
She looked amazing. I saw her in Erewhon like a year ago. She looked great.
Yeah,
have you been to Erewhon?
Yeah.
It's the worst. I saw the one by the Grove.
My brother is obsessed.
They have
but yeah.
Extensive beverage selection, which I like, but that's it.
I think they have a good beverage. They have like, it's the same thing. I don't know if you've been to like Central Market. It's kind of like a Southern thing, but
no, I haven't.
They have like good ready to eat options.
I only recently learned about Piggly Wiggly from Van Lathan on this podcast. I did.
Yeah. Piggly Wiggly is like South and Midwest. Yeah.
I was like, is that a hot dog place? And he laughed at me. But that's what I thought it was.
No, grocery. You've heard of Publix, right?
Yes, because that's where both Jameis Winston and Victoria Larson stole from.
That's why you know?
That's the same location. Yeah.
Publix is the best grocery franchise in the United States.
I've heard that too. I'd like to go. As you know, I haven't been to Florida in a long time. So
Are you a big sandwich person?
Love sandwiches.
Oh yeah. Pub subs.
Love. Also like I like a sort of grocery store sandwich in general. I mean, so I'm sure I'd love it. As I told you, I love grocery stores. I like to experience all of them.
You have great chicken wings too.
Ooh, interesting. And I heard they have good crab legs. But shh. That's a joke. That's what Jameis Winston stole.
Oh. I was like, I haven't had their crab legs.
That was a joke.
I didn't know that was from Publix.
Yeah. Same one that Victoria stole from too. Queen Victoria, Goddess Victoria.
The same store?
Yes, the same location in Tallahassee.
Wow, the way you said Tallahassee was weird.
How do you say it?
I feel like the emphasis was in the wrong spot. Tallahassee?
Yeah.
You said Tallahassee.
Yes, I did.
It's like when people say Kissimmee, Florida, where Disney is. Kissimmee.
That's where Disney is?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was in Orlando.
Yeah, they say that, but it's not. It's right outside of Orlando in Kissimmee.
Kissimmee. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for my next trip to Epcot to get the avocado margarita.
So good around the world. If you're in Orlando, try it.
Last note for today. Would you like to share anything that you learned about Thomas from his appearance on Talking It Out with Mike and Brian? Because as you know, you're the captain of Team Thomas, so I want to give you the floor.
I think a lot of people are boarding this train, first of all. Will want to say I am the fucking conductor have been riding around for a while by myself, but I'm glad it's getting busy. Yes, if you haven't, I think it's a great podcast to listen to because we don't get to see Thomas or know who he is at all based on the two shows that he's so far. I think we'll see way more as relationships develop, but we haven't really got to know him at all, except for what the guys say about him, which also seems like not real.
Yeah, it's all unfair hearsay.
Yeah. So I felt like we really got to know him. I by no means do I think he's perfect or anything like that, but actually getting to know him, getting to know his story, he seems super genuine. And as much as I like Thomas, he still comes across like semi-scripted on the show. Although this week I thought was fine. He didn't come across that way at all. His entrance, I felt like he was maybe nervous and like felt like he had to say the right things all the time. Which he addresses on the podcast. He talks about how he feels like he's a people pleaser. He talks about his upbringing, his parents, his grandparents. He talks about his philanthropy. He talks about going through like some dark times and how he was able to get over it. I like absolutely love that he was like people that are like, oh yeah, I figured it out all by myself. Like, I don't need to say that. I don't need to pretend like I got to where I am by myself.
Nothing wrong with therapy.
No. Or just like saying, you know, someone fucking help me out. Like,
yeah.
I thought the podcast was so good. And I feel like I know way more about him now.
You really do learn a lot more. It's good. You guys should check it out. Also, Mike and Brian both seem like good guys.
Yeah. I also like how he said, he was like, I didn't get the memo that you weren't supposed to say I thought about being the Bachelor. And Mike was like, I honestly didn't because like I didn't know, I hadn't really watched the show. I didn't really understand like the process of becoming the Bachelor.
Yeah.
So like that thought personally didn't cross my mind. But Brian was like, anyone that watches the show knows that could happen from being on the show.
Yeah.
And him being like, maybe I shouldn't have said it. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say it. Like, I just thought it was like a pretty honest conversation. And I like that there was 2 other guys that had been on the show that post being on the show. Like, obviously if this conversation were happening on the show, Brian probably would have been like, no, bro, you don't say that, da, 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 da. But like post being on the show, they can be like, I mean, yeah, everyone fucking thinks about it.
Yeah. And it's just, I feel like he has learned quickly how to do some of this stuff. Like even on Paradise now, I feel like he's trying to like build some bridges, not with Aaron, but it seems like he's being very deliberate and like trying to befriend a lot of the girls, which is a smart strategy. You want the girls to like you.
Yeah, I will say there was one moment I was like, Thomas, stop. When he kept calling Tammy a villain.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't like that.
I know. Also, just last note on the Thomas and Aaron fight. Aaron being so mad that Tammy straddled him. It's just like, that's kind of like a really minor part of this. Like, I understand where you're coming from. But like, does the straddling really matter? It's just the position for making out. I mean, whatever. Let's let it go, Aaron.
I don't think that she should have made out in front of Aaron without at least a conversation with Aaron that I'm going to get to know other people.
I agree with that for sure.
No, the position of making out doesn't really matter. Like, I think what Demi and what's his name? Kenny did was just as bad. Also, it was a long 45-second zoom in of their makeout.
Of who?
Kenny and Demi. I was like, I don't need to see this.
I know. It's just like watching people kiss is really not that exciting.
But usually they'll do like 5 seconds, like we get it. Kenny and Demi, they were like, y'all are going to see this. It makes me think, what were they making out for like 45 minutes?
Probably.
They had a ton of footage.
I know. Also, I think there's just not a lot of places to go. That's why I'm so curious about all this stuff.
Oh yeah. Then right after they got in that fight, they showed Aaron at the bar, and in the background you see Tammy and Thomas making out. I was like, well, that fight did
so
nothing.
They're so close.
And you see Aaron like look over his shoulder. I'm like, oh my God. Like, could they have not gone upstairs?
I know. I loved it. All right. No, Team Thomas forever. Thank you for this podcast. It's like a book report, but a podcast report. Last week, Nick Viall. This week, talking it out. Can always rely on you. Check out me and Callie on Friday on the Ringer Reality TV podcast, talking all things not Bachelor. And we will be back next week. Thank you for listening. And thank you to Erika Cervantes for producing this episode.
Adios.